or what I'm doing is legal. This is why I believe I'll receive justice in the higher court.
Hit more to right center than the left. Oh, it is good! He did it! He did it!
It doesn't matter what your background is and where you come from. If you have dreams and you have goals, and that's all that really matters.
But there's only one Usain Bolt.
I owe, a lot to Charlie.
The freedom of expression that the entire world could see.
When you black, it's not a movement. It's a lifestyle. This is who we are.
The struggles, the pain, the triumph, and just the stress that I've been through, and then I have more insights also on my life. One of the main things I want to try to get across to the world is that this is not easy. I think most people concept of me is that, oh, you're saying it's easy for you, saying it's no stress. You know what I mean? That's what most people always say to me when they see me, like, oh, you make it look so easy, but it's not.
There was perhaps just one thing Usain Bolt did better than run fast. And that was to make running fast look ridiculously easy. Winning with a smile on his face, with an outrageously early celebration, a trademark salute, and an infectious party. He made it look so easy that it's hard to believe him when he says it wasn't.
One of the fastest times in history again.
But here's the thing, no matter how fast he was, no matter how blessed he was to have been given those long, loose limbs and that devastating power, it just couldn't have been easy to do it over and over and over again. No one else has won the 100 and 200 meters double at an Olympic Games twice. Usain Bolt won it 3 times, in Beijing, London, and Rio. He won the 3 relays too, although one was taken away because of a teammate's drug infraction. And in 4 successive world championships, 2009, 11, 13, 15, he was unbeaten in all 11 events in which he started. The only sprint he did not win in that period was when he false started.
I think early in my career, my first couple of years, my first 2 Olympics were easier. You know what I mean? I had confidence, I was young, I was enjoying the sport, but I think my last 3 years were 3 toughest years for me because then I had done so much. I found myself thinking, why am I still doing this? I've accomplished everything. I don't really need to prove anything else.
Even if it did get tougher as he got older, Bolt was always able to mask the strain with a laugh. Part of his dominance over longtime rivals like Justin Gatlin and Johan Blake, or the new kid in Rio, Andre de Grasse, was the illusion that he was in total control.
I enjoy track and field, but I can't let track and field not let me enjoy my life. I work hard, and I know when it's time to crunch time and what I need to do to get there. So I just do it. I don't need to not drink. I don't need to not go out.
There's more to Usain Bolt than the party. The serious side of the fastest man on Earth, up next.
If you were following me since 2002, you'll know that I've been doing phenomenal things since I was 15. I was the youngest person to win the World Juniors at 15. I ran the World Junior record 1993 at 18. World Youth record at 17. I've broken every record there is to break in every event I've ever done. So for me, I've proven myself since I was 15.
That World Junior Championship at 15 was held in Kingston, Jamaica, and would be the first demonstration of Bolt's charismatic appeal with home fans, especially when it was revealed he'd been so nervous that he had put his shoes on the wrong feet. But that story, in turn, led to the perception that the young man was prone to mishap. And when a leg injury ruined his Olympic debut in Athens 2004, another spoiled his 2005 World Championships, and a recurrence forced his withdrawal from the 2006 Commonwealth Games, the word was out that he was fragile. The 2007 World Championships in Osaka were his coming of age, literally. Just a week after his 21st birthday, Bolt stepped out in the 200 meters and ran the #1 sprinter at the time, Tyson Gay, to a whisker. His reward? A blast from his coach, Glenn Mills. You didn't put in any work. You didn't even go to the gym. A blast from Mills was not uncommon. The pair came together in 2005. The coach was 55. The athlete was struggling with the transition from junior to senior ranks. Heads butted. But from it came a relationship which has endured throughout Bolt's career and beyond. Previously considered a 200 meters specialist, Bolt had wanted to also target the 100 meters. But Mills knew that the young man's 6'5" frame could not stand the dynamic impact of the dash without building a proper fitness base. Bolt resolved to train harder, and so at the start of the 2008 season, for the first time, Mills agreed the 100 meters would be added to his schedule as an equal partner to the 200. The rest, as they say, is history.
The world of athletics doesn't often have a superstar, but they certainly have one now.
A world record 9.72 in New York in May 2008 preceded his Beijing Games when he clocked world records of 9.69 in the 100 and 19.3 in the 200, and improved them to 9.58 and 19.19 at the 2009 World Championships. More than a decade on, they remain the benchmark, which made the revelation that Bolt had suffered discrimination along his journey from the humble origins of Sherwood content to the upper echelons of Jamaican society quite remarkable. In early 2016, during an interview on Jamaican television, Bolt said he'd been subjected to classism and racism with what he described as the strong bad mind of his neighbors when he moved into a luxury apartment in St. Andrew. The goofy kid from Sherwood content may have blossomed into the globe-trotting icon of world athletics, but he never lost sight of the problems of others. Bolt was part of the Black Lives Matter social media campaign in 2020, and in 2021 was a vocal critic against racism in football, when the players who missed penalty kicks in England's Euro 2020 final were vilified.
They went through a lot. The abuse on the internet was was just ridiculous to see. It's sports. It's one of those things. I know it's hard for you to watch your team lose, but there should not be abuse because they miss, especially that racial abuse. It's just rough, and it takes a toll on a lot of athletes. It's just rough to see it, and to see these, especially 19-year-olds, because I know it must be so tough to the point where he just doesn't want to do it anymore.
Regardless of race, class, or any other distinction, Bolt's inspirational qualities have been built on the respect and fun with which he's taken his message around the world. While many, even most of the world's great sports stars come to suffer the press conferences, the sponsorship demands, the public interaction, Bolt has always embraced them with style and humor.
I just want to say before I leave, I just want to thank everybody in this room. I know a lot of you guys have followed me through my career, you know what I mean? Some of you guys have written some bad things about me, but it is what it is. So I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
But it's not only the media who adored Usain Bolt. In a sport beset by egos, jealousy, and suspicion, he's been loved by peers and rivals.
The first thing I thought about when I started running against Usain was, I can't wait till I retire with this guy so I can be able to have a beer with him, man. Just sit back and talk about all the battles we had and just laugh about it.
If you see Usain Bolt walk past you now, you're going to know that he's Usain Bolt, so you can't tell me that a medal is going to define the person that he is and what he's done for the sport.
I think we owe him, as not in just in athletics, in all sports, owe him a lot on how he does it is incredible, and to triple gold, come out year after year, and it's an inspiration to so many people.
I want to be one of the greatest. I want to be among the greats, and without this Olympic, I would be great, yes, but I don't think I would be in the bracket as Muhammad Ali, and Pele, and the great footballers. When people are talking about, you have to work hard to be the best, they say that. Look at Usain Bolt, you know what I mean? Look at Muhammad Ali. I want to be in that sentence. That's what I'm working toward.
He got his wish. Just like Muhammad Ali, who lost his last 2 fights, Usain Bolt lost the last 2 races of his career at the 2017 World Championships, and it didn't matter at all. He's in that sentence.
Usain Bolt is a genius. I can't think of, other than Muhammad Ali in my sporting lifetime, I can't think of anybody that has so had an impact inside or beyond their sport.
Gabrielle Douglas was the first gymnast of color to become the individual all-around champion at the Olympic Games. The sport may now be dominated by a black athlete so transcendent the rules are being rewritten to contain her. But before Simone, there was Gabby. Douglas left her home in Virginia when she was a 14-year-old gymnastic prodigy, bound for Des Moines, Iowa, and the coaching of Liang Chow. By this point, she had already flirted with national selection. But in 2011, everything went up a level with Team Gold at the World Championships. That earned her a spot at London 2012, amongst a group dubbed the Fierce Five. They went on to win the team event by the biggest margin in 52 years. And Douglas, she won gold in the individual all-around, becoming the first American gymnast ever to win both the team and individual all-around gold at the same games. Not bad for a 16-year-old on Olympic debut.
All I can say is there's no magic, there's no secrets, it's just talent, and it takes a lot of effort in the gym, a lot of determination and passion.
Douglas embraced the spotlight, taking an audience with Barack Obama and the celebrity lifestyle in her stride.
The fun highlights is we all got to go on the David Letterman show, and we all got to go on the Colbert Report, and we got to meet a couple stars like Nicki Minaj, Jordan Sparks, and Cedric the Entertainer. So I think we're all having fun with this. I think we'd all like to, you know, do TV shows and, you know, all the movies, but personally, I want to be in the Vampire Diaries.
Douglas did not compete for close to 3 years, but she trained her way back into national contention in 2015. Later that year, she won team gold at the World Championship and silver in the individual all-around, paving the way for another Olympic gold, the Fierce Five rebranding as the Final Five.
The experience was amazing, and just being back at another Olympic Games was awesome, especially to grab another team gold medal was just...
Oh, it's nice to know how proud they are.
You don't even have words because it's something so special.
The U.S. quintet now contained the unstoppable Simone Biles.
If she asks me any question, I am more than happy, more than free than to give her any advice that she needs. And for the most part, I feel like she's already prepared, you know. She's so mature, and she's been to multiple World Championships, her first Olympics, and I believe she is going to do amazing, and she already is. To watch her go out there with such determination and really fight for, you know, every single thing was just amazing, and to witness that, I am so happy for her.
But as well as sharing podiums, Biles, Douglas, and other members of a golden generation of U.S. gymnasts have shared trauma, suffering abuse at the hands of former team doctor Larry Nassar. The lineage of African-American gymnasts is long and storied, from Lucy Collins to Dominique Dawes, Gabby Douglas to Simone Biles. Each has pushed the boundaries further than the last. Each has inspired. Each has made it easier for the next to follow in their footsteps.
Oh man, it feels definitely amazing. I mean, it's such a great honor that I get to inspire these young girls, and that's always been my thing. I always wanted to inspire people. So I can check that off my bucket list, and I'm like glowing because I'm so happy for all the little young girls that can say, you know what, I can do it, and I can be like Gabby, and she's my role model, and I can look up to her. So I love it.
In football, a good striker will score 500 goals. Pelé scored 767. But Pelé is more than just goals. He is the greatest player from the greatest football country in history. Brazil have won 5 World Cups. Pelé played a key role in 3 of them. It wasn't just his countrymen, even his opponents knew he was the best.
In today's football, he would have been unstoppable. Is Pelé the greatest player of all times? In my opinion, he is.
He even popularised football's honorific, the beautiful game, because that's how he played.
This vitrine has a plate that signifies KKK, God give us men. It's an item from the Ku Klux Klan. Next to it, this larger item is a men's slave collar used to control people, and to the other side of it is one for women.
The considered orator addressing items in this collection of slavery and segregation artifacts is Alan Page, an inductee in both the College Football and Pro Football Halls of Fame.
This is what we did to one another.
Page was a defensive tackle with Notre Dame, leading the Fighting Irish to the 1966 National Championship. In the NFL, he became a feared member of the Minnesota Vikings' Purple People Eaters defensive line, appearing in 4 Super Bowls and becoming one of only 2 defensive players ever voted the NFL's MVP. Between 1967 and 1981, he made an extraordinary 215 consecutive starts, and he became the first active NFL footballer to compete in a marathon. If that all wasn't exceptional enough, during this period, he graduated as a lawyer and began applying his training outside the football season. He was soon an assistant attorney general, and in 1993, he became the first black justice on the Minnesota Supreme Court. He also leads the Page Education Foundation to provide financial and mentoring assistance to students of color in exchange for a commitment to volunteering in the community. And with his daughter, Page has authored 4 children's books.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
That debate about the anthem, about the flag, is the reddest of red herrings. The point is that we have injustice.
In 2018, Page was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. The president at the time was Donald Trump, a man Page had criticized publicly. This medal, this honor, is far more important than my personal beliefs, my personal likes and dislikes, Page said. When the Super Bowl was hosted in Minneapolis that year, Page displayed his collection of exhibits at the city's Central Library.
These are signs from the Jim Crow era. This particular sign, the colored sign, the lighted one, was from the bus station in Montgomery, Alabama. We happened to find it out in Anaheim, California, in an antique mall. What could somebody possibly do with this? Where would you display it? And what would make one think that this was something that should be displayed?
The exhibition arrived at a tense moment in racial politics in the United States.
And the question is, or the hope is, that by seeing the artifacts and the items, that they will want to be a part of changing the narrative of that destiny.
Few athletes have ever done more than Alan Page to change the narrative about African Americans or the world in which they live.